Okay, hello YouTubers. It's been quite a while since I've made a video. I haven't been in the boat to do any fishing. I've been chasing deer all over the woods. Here where I live in South Carolina, we have a 2-week bow season. I killed 0. Then we have a 10-day muzzleloader season, primitive weapons, bow or muzzleloader. I killed 0. Then I went on a lottery hunt. They call them in South Carolina. Back in Georgia, we call it quota hunts, but it's a hunt that we were drawn for. Went on that hunt. Saw 5 deer. None of them were legal shooters. No, that's wrong. I could have shot a doe, but none of the bucks were legal shooters. So here we are. Today is October 20th. And last week, October 17th, I was back in the National Forest where I hunt a lot. And I had 2 deer run in, and one of them ran back and forth and full speed and couldn't get a shot at that one. And the other one crossed his creek and made the mistake of stopping, and I shot it. Now, where I hunt's either sex and all that stuff. And actually thought it was a doe, wasn't sure. Well, I got down there and it wasn't a doe, it was a young buck. So, had to use one of my buck tags. I'm only allowed to kill 2 deer on the National Forest. So one of them turned out was this little spike. He's got a little split, little fork. So, you know, some good old boys would say, no, he's a 3-pointer, but really he isn't, because the points have to be 1 inch long. So he's just a spike, just a young deer. But this video is not about my hunting ability, because it's not that great. This video is about what I did with the meat. So I brought this deer home. First off, I field dressed it in the woods. A lot of people don't even do that where I hunt anymore. They just take the guts and everything to the processor. But I field dressed it, stopped at a convenience store, got a bag of ice, put it in the cavity, tried to get it start cooling down a little, and then brought it home and quartered it up at my house and left it in a cooler for overnight. And then Saturday, midday Saturday, I took the quarters and I deboned them and cut off some sections of meat, you know, pieces of meat. And I'm pretty picky. I didn't really cut out much to be ground or anything. I just kind of cut out muscle groups and stuff, and then I'll decide later on how I'm going to use it. But what I wanted to make this video for is, this is the second time I've done this. I did it last year, and then this year I'm going to do it with this deer. I'm doing a process called wet aging. Wet aging. Now what it is, dry aging is when you take one to a cooler and you hang it up with the skin on it, okay? And you leave it hanging for several days, and it allows everything to start breaking down, and it tenderizes the meat. And that's the way they do beef cattle and these high-end steakhouses. They'll hang them for, I don't know how long, but days and days and days. But anyhow, I don't have a cooler. I know some people do. I know they make them now. They make even portable coolers and stuff, but I don't own one. So I tried wet aging last year and I really liked it. So what I have is an old refrigerator out here in my garage. And it's just nothing fancy, just an old refrigerator. We usually keep water bottles and eggs and drinks, and in the top part we'll keep ice cream, treats, or something like that in there. But in that refrigerator, what I do is I put the meat in bags. A lot of people vacuum seal it. That's probably the best way to do it. And the idea is you want to keep the meat above freezing, but not too warm. You want to keep it in kind of a refrigerated temperature. I've read people that say 32 to 38. I've read people that say 32 to 40. I've read people, above 32, I'm sorry. I've read people that say 33 to 40, 33 to 37, whatever. So if you have a thermometer, you can check it in your refrigerator and all that stuff. But what you do, last year I did them for a week. I did them for 7 days. Now, when you do this wet aging method, I'm gonna show you how it looks. Let me get some of my stuff here. All right, I got just some freezer bags. Instead of going and getting out the vacuum sealer and sealing them up, I just went with freezer bags and sort of burnt the air, kind of how we do our fish fillets. But what you do with the wet aging is after you cut out your muscle groups, you pat it dry, and then you put it in there in your bags, and then you put it in your refrigerator. So I'm gonna pull the bag out. I'm gonna show you what it looks like. So here is a bag of some pieces from a ham, one of the hams. There's a bunch of meat in there, and as you see, I had it completely patted dry, but all the stuff is starting to work out. Some of the blood and other moisture comes out of there. So what you have to do is, I use shop towels. You know, it seems a little bit easier than using regular paper towels, but anything will work. I guess you could probably even use a rag if you wanted to. But I use these shop towels, and what you do, take your meat out of the bag, just like that. I will discard this bag and use a fresh one. And I like to do this about every 3 days, maybe, something like that. So I'm gonna take the meat out, just gonna lay it out here on my board, which this is my fish cleaning table, but this is what I butchered up the meat the other day on. And of course I've already cleaned it. It is pretty clean. So we're gonna take some shop towels, pretty liberal with these babies. We're gonna start patting it dry, drying it off once again. What we're trying to do is let this stuff break down. No, I don't know all the science behind it. There's hundreds of people that's got videos out there that tell you about it. Just look up wet aging, W-E-T, wet aging venison, and you can learn all about it. But anyway, you go through a lot of paper towels, have your trash bag ready. You're gonna need it. Okay, so this is the side I just patted dry. I'm gonna flip them, lay them onto this stuff here, and now I'm gonna pat dry the side that was wet, that I did not dry out. So, uh-oh, missed a piece. Got a little jumper. Okay, so take a couple, double them over. And you just want to use a little pressure. And so this is what you're getting. You're getting a sort of a clotting effect. Get all this dampness off of them. And again, you do that about I guess you could do it every couple of days. I usually do it about every 3 days. Now these, I think I'll probably leave these in here. I may try 10 days this time. As I said, last year I did a week. And it's amazing when you take them out, the meat just pulls apart so easy. It's real nice. And you can make some more cuts. You can make some more fine cuts with your knife as you go along. You know how you take a fish fillet out and then you do some more trimming after the fact, you'll find a little piece you missed or you didn't like. So you can do the same thing with this deer meat, but it's a good way to go. Some of these muscle groups are still together. I lost some of this deer on the exit side. I shattered the ribs, and so I lost a little bit of meat. I did keep the neck intact with the bone. My son likes his bone in neck roast, so I kept it intact, but I'm still aging it. All right, I'm gonna leave it in here until he says he wants it, but I'm still kind of aging it. So anyway, those are probably dry enough already. Let me get my trash bag over here. And here it is. But I'm gonna go one more time just to make sure. And see, I'm gonna put this in a new freezer bag, okay? I'm not doubling it up or anything like that. It's not, you don't have to get too carried away with it. In fact, I saw some guys do it with a commercial style black garbage bag, and they just put the entire quarters in there, and they actually left it open, let some of the air escape. I don't know if that's best. Everything I've read on it says to seal it up. So brand new freezer bag, not a storage bag, it's a freezer bag. So a little bit different thickness. So right here, we've got a good muscle cut. I can't tell you what's what. I don't know my roasts. All I know is this is meat and I'm working to make it tender. That's all I can tell you. So we're gonna take that. We're gonna lay this in here. And this time I'm gonna probably not put quite as much in the bag. This is a gallon size bag, and I'm probably not gonna put all this back in the same bag because I'm gonna try to lay it a little bit flatter when I put it back in the fridge, okay? Seems like when you lay it a little flatter, they're not right on top of each other, that you can get it to break down a little bit better. So I'm gonna squeeze out this air, you know, as good as I can. It's not vacuum sealing. Again, I have a vacuum sealer, but every time you do that, it may be more proper, but every time you do that, when you come to pat it dry again, you've got to cut that vacuum seal bag open and then start with another new one. So you get most of the air out like that, okay? So I got most of the air out. I'm just gonna lay that right back in the refrigerator. And about 2 or 3 days from now, it will have forced some more blood and moisture out of it, and I will do the same thing that I just did all over again. And I'll do this for all the meat from that deer. So I've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more bags in here. I'm gonna use another bag for this. So I'm probably gonna wind up with about probably 8 bags total when everything's said and done. This is the bone-in neck piece that I have. So I'm gonna lay this flat in here. And we're in business. So, give it a try. It's kind of cool. And I'm gonna leave this week. I'm going down to Georgia on Thursday afternoon to take the boat out and do a little fall fishing on my home lake, which is Lake Lanier. I haven't lived in Georgia for over 20 years, but Georgia is still where I'm from, and Lake Lanier is still, always will be my home lake, because that's where I learned to fish, swim, water ski, you know, everything. That's just my home lake. So I'm gonna go down and try to spend some time with my father and fish, and then next week, I'll be back to the deer woods, and hopefully I will be able to have a little bit more discipline and maybe shoot an older buck or some does. I can shoot other bucks at home, but on the state land, the national forest, I can only legally shoot 2. So you see I've already shot 1, but the good news is a deer that young should be nice and tender, and then what we're doing here, aging the meat's gonna make it even better. So, but I'll have some pictures. I'll have some pictures of some of the choice meats laid out on this. I'll add to this video of you know, the true tenderloins and the back straps and all that. And of course, you know, they don't require a whole lot of aging, but even those, when you age them, man, they're just so tender. It's really good. So give it a try. I think you'll like it. Let me see if I can see here. Let's see. Right here's some of the choice meat. Of course, I've got to take it out and pat it dry. These were some of the back straps, some of the more tender cuts, but they're going to be like, hey, filet mignon by the time I get done with them with this aging process. Now, one other thing, I don't make very many hunting videos. That's something I'm gonna have to start doing. I don't have really a proper camera for it. But if you follow this channel at all, and you know, most of my stuff I'm just doing with GoPros when I'm in the boat and things like that, or either my phone. But if you enjoy this channel, I want to challenge you to look at my son's channel. He has a YouTube channel called Humble Hunter Outdoors. Humble Hunter Outdoors. And he is a good hunter, and he goes on public land almost all the time. It's almost all public hunting, and he's a killer. So I would encourage you, check his channel out, Humble Hunter Outdoors. He's got more subscribers than me. He's got more videos than I do. He puts in some stuff about his faith. He'll play a little guitar on it. And he's just a good old boy redneck. So, you know, check him out. You'll enjoy it. And hopefully I'll have a fishing video for you next week.